Hey guys, welcome to the stream, and we are playing in the DSSP 5+3 Blitz Arena. This starts in 10 seconds. Alright, here we go. I love this board. Okay, e4. Let's go for just e4, e5. Or, sorry, I'm not speaking. Yeah, so let me just prepare this recapture. This was sort of a wasted move by white, since black can defend against the sort of fried liver attack, like so. So now I'm castled. I'm gonna gain this flight square with tempo if I want to. Do I want to? Yeah, sure. Just boot that knight out, or prompt the trade. In this case, trading two minor pieces for a pawn and a rook is a bad trade for white, because definitely my knight and bishop over their rook and pawn will be much more active in the middle game and trying to fight for an advantage, even though it's technically a material equality. I'm thinking d6. Well, their king's still in the center, so I want to break it open. d5 doesn't work though, because after captures they just win the pawn. So perhaps I prepare d5 by playing knight to e7, and then after, say, I don't know, if they don't castle or something like this, then I have d5, which would sort of bring my pieces more in play, take control of the set. Why did I do that? What? I was just telling you guys why e5 didn't work. Okay, maybe this still works, just a different move order. I mean, queen up. Okay, no. Gaining a tempo on the bishop. Do I mind playing here, actually? Seems like a useful diagonal. I'm glad with this capture, because their king's on an open file then, after I recapture with the pawn if they take with the knight. So I'm completely happy with that. Okay, they don't. This knight is pinned now, so I can easily take this pawn here. If they move their knight up, I'm going to bring my rook over to e8, and then that's just yucky. That's just icky. I don't know if that's winning the knight or anything like that, but I see here I can take the bishop, can't I? Pretty sure I can take the bishop. Then I'm just up a pawn. Okay, we have a trade here. Well, I'm not technically up a pawn, but I'm back the pawn that I lost, is what I meant. Okay, now I'm up a pawn. Wait, is my bishop going to be trapped? Rook here. Rook here. Oh no. I need to get out of this somehow. Yeah, try and break open over here. So if they take with the pawn, I take back, and then my bishop has flight squares. Okay, and now my bishop is defended by my rook, so it shouldn't be trapped. Or I mean, it could be trapped, but it shouldn't be a big deal because it's defended. So I'm thinking putting my bishop here hits the rook. Seems like a solid move. Developing with tempo. So these pawns are very weak. I want to attack them somehow. Yeah. This is close to some kind of double attack, but I don't see it, unfortunately. What if I bring my queen here? Sort of puts a little bit of pressure on this pawn already. Also frees up this pawn to move forwards. Attacks this pawn. I like that move. It's still defending this pawn, but... Oh, of course I can't move this, but say after I move my king and then this. Or a trade of light squared bishops, actually. I like that. Maybe I should have gone for that. Okay, queen up. Ooh, discovered attack, isn't it? I get this pawn. I take... Then what? Yeah, I think I just get the pawn. They can't take my rook because my rook is protected by my other rook. And they can't take this bishop because then I take their queen. Oh, okay. I see. Smart. We have a trade of queens. And then I retreat to here. Then they move their knight somewhere. Say back here or wherever. And then I defend the pawn. Should still be winning. Or no, maybe trade and I just grab this pawn. But then they can grab this pawn. So do I grab the pawn or do I not grab the pawn? That is the question. I'll take it. Simplify a bit further. Yeah, they take there. Makes sense. I can bring my bishop up here, attacking the rook. Try and do something with this passed pawn here. Actually, I think I want to trade light squared bishops. How to do that, though? Okay, yeah. I'll bring my bishop here. This pawn is kind of tied down because I can get checks in with tempo, and then I'd be really powerful on this diagonal if that pawn ever moved. Just have, like, an iron fist. Oh, of course, they just take the pawn. Duh. Can I go here now? They defend. I attack. They run away. Okay. Oh, now it's equal. That was stupid of me. Very stupid. Go here. Oh, this pawn's hanging. No. No, I don't think it is, actually. Bishop takes... if anything takes except the bishop, I just, like, take the knight. Or, if knight takes, then I take the rook. If rook takes, then I take the knight. Okay, rook over there. How about I attack the bishop? And then if bishop takes with check... I just move. No. Bishop, that just wins the pawn, doesn't it? No. I was thinking rook takes, but then after rook takes, bishop takes... Well, that's the two minor pieces for a rook and a pawn, I guess. This knight is more powerful in this one-side pawn situation. This game's taking much longer than I had originally hoped, actually. I was hoping for a quick one, but no. Okay, the bishop left. I think I have to take here now, because that knight in this situation will be quite powerful. It can halt back and forth. Actually, well, I did have the bishop here, which kind of counteracts that, so I guess maybe not so much. Okay, so light squared bishops offers a draw. I don't know. Let me think about that. Sure. You know, why not? Seems like a drawn position, definitely. Let's look at the stockfish. Yeah, Saltfish says it's a draw. I didn't see a way to make progress. I had a chance, but then I messed it up, unfortunately. But yeah, no, that's fine. A draw in the beginning, we can easily get wins. I mean, at least this draw didn't interrupt our streak. Like if we'd gotten a couple of wins in the beginning, but then a draw after, that would have interrupted a streak. This one doesn't. C4, the English opening. We're doing a mini series on this. Check it out. There's a link in the description. This is the symmetrical variation. This video is coming last. It's not a very upcoming video. They're just gonna copy my moves. Okay, looks like it. It's copycat chess. Okay, come on. They can't be serious. What? Oh, do it. I dare. Okay. They're copying. So, let's get them into a position where if they copy, they'll be in a bad spot. Take here, then if they take here, I take back, and they can't take this pawn. There we go, our extra tempo saves us. There, yeah, that's right. Copy me now. Okay, it's such a crazy beginning. The first 11 moves, perfectly symmetrical. Alright, now I'll copy you for a change. Just take this knight. It's a free knight. But yeah, that's typically how you deal with the copycat chess. If anyone's just copying your moves, he's giving me free pieces. What's going on? As I was saying, if anyone's just copying your moves, simply find a position where your extra tempo gives you enough of an advantage. In this case, the extra tempo even gave me like a rook. That's how big that advantage was. Back rank mate threats. There we go. All right. I want to say good game, but it wasn't. I mean, it was a little bit instructive, I guess, with the extra having the move proved enough to get material compensation. But yeah, it wasn't too instructive apart from that. Like the first game did show I have to take my time a bit more. Just look for that's not even a complicated tactic in that first game. I just missed a pawn. Like I had an extra pawn and then I just missed that my opponent could take it. Very stupid. And c4 again. Quark Carta. Oh, okay. Oh, c4 e5. Here, g3 is typically a good move. That's a book move in response to the king's pawn variation or whatever this is called. This is all book stuff. Okay, going after that pawn, that doesn't seem too wise. I think this is my only move, but that comes with an attack on the knight. Okay, going for some kind of a gambit line. Queen here check maybe seems typical, just the way they're playing. I can bring my knight here. There's no threat of this because I simply take. Or actually, I'll bring my queen here. Ask for a queen trade. Also, I can take back with the knight, which further develops my knight. And then if we look, I'd have 3 pieces developed to their 1. Okay, they avoid the queen trade. That's good because they're down in material, and their only hope is their sort of their attack that they're trying to drum up against me. Maybe I do this. The dark squares are covered well by my bishop. I can fiend shadow this one as well, because it's really not got too much of a future along this diagonal because of these pawns here, these dark squared pawns. Yeah, that looks good. And then if bishop here, nothing to worry about. Just bring my bishop up. My opponent's just wasting moves at that point. Yeah, it puts the knight in the pin, I guess, but not really. It just means, like, if it's attacked, it can always, you know, move back and defend, or move forward and defend. In fact, this is a nice square for the knight, moving forward. Okay, they castle. That's a good move. Not getting too rash with the attack. This queen, king, and rook alignment is very frightening. So I want to get out of that as fast as possible. Maybe I'll try this, and then my king isn't very secure. So I can try this, and then like artificially castle like so. It seems like a good idea. This also defends the knight. It's good square for this one, for just trying to keep things defended until I can trade down into a winning endgame with my material advantage. This bishop is also pinned to the defense of this pawn here, because my queen and bishop are eyeing that. And it's only defended by the queen and the bishop, which is sufficient for now, but of course the bishop ever moves, then this pawn is hanging. Along with the rook, if the knight hasn't moved first. The rook would be trapped there after a trade on the square if the bishop moved. Okay. Queen to d6. Looking at this backwards pawn here. Can I push it? d4 takes with check. Picking up this knight. Oh no. Just move my queen. Of course, my queen's defending it anyways. I don't like that. It gives up some material. What are we thinking? Just keep going with our castling plan? That seems smart. They block their bishop in even more. They can't even try and fiend shadow it, so this light squared bishop is out of the race right now. Meaning that our light squares are pretty safe. So I say we castle, and then if we need more safety, we can always go to h1. How else can we make use of the light squares? Put our knight in them? Ooh, I like this move. Press to bring our other knight over here. Disrupts this attack on the pawn. After a move like this, though, so we're looking at knight d5 and then c6. Then there's sort of a nice barricade with the pawns against my queen-bishop attack. So maybe that's not the bet. How about knight here? That defends this pawn and attacks both the bishop and the queen. The bishop is actually a very annoying piece here, so I like this fork. Forcing the trade of this knight for this bishop. Or maybe I just win the bishop with the tempo on the queen. I'll go back. Looking to bring this knight over here. Now that they have no dark square bishop anymore, I'm not scared about the king's safety issues. That dark squared bishop was really vital to their attack, in my opinion, as far as I can tell. Get this bishop in the game. Try and use this dark squared advantage. Okay. So, pawn up there. Now this alignment's actually going to be an issue, maybe? Knight back. This, no, I just put my queen in here. That blockades everything nicely. Can't be attacked by a bishop. The knight's so far away, it would take a long time for it to come to me. Yeah, that looks fine. This may be trying to break open the position. Okay, no, that. I feel like, back here, f4 was much more dangerous for me. Anyways, my opponent played a move. Knight here. That looks good, and then I can try to break king alignment. My queen is firmly holding this pawn here on this square. So yeah, knight here, simply developing. Also hits this pawn, I guess, but not really. It's defended so many times. But it hits the pawn, yeah. I think my bishop's going to belong on c3 here, just putting this pawn under more pressure, because it's a backwards pawn. This is actually a very easy backwards pawn for me to attack. It's firmly fixated. Okay, now I don't want to take. That loses. I mean, bishop here. But then they... No, that doesn't work. Okay, bishop here maybe. Hit this pawn. Preparing to put my king on the light square, I think. The light squares are holy, actually. Doesn't make sense to go on a light square here. Now my knight's very... Keep track of this very well. That queen hits my bishop, though. Perhaps king to g2, simply protecting the bishop, plopping my king into safety. Well, relative safely. It's more that it clears this file for my rook to join the attack on this backwards pawn here. Actually, now this works. Maybe I should have been more worried about that. Yeah, Maybe I should have been more worried. My bishop's getting trapped now. If I go here, takes... if I go pawn here, takes... Pawn here, I'm going for it. Now we can trade queens. Okay, yeah, I saved it. Oof. Low on time, but it's a big increment, plus 3 seconds, so this should be okay. Let's get our rook involved. Back our bishop off, looks like good. Maybe just put it here with check. I can try and put it here later, which goes after this pawn. Bring this rook over, prepare to bring the king to h1. We have checkmate threats then. Bishop here. That just simply wins the exchange. Oh no, king here, and then if takes, then we have checkmate. So that doesn't work, unfortunately. Yeah, defending the mate threat. Okay, I have to do something here. Let's just bring the rook up here. I'm taking way too much time. I want to get the knights out of the way. Okay, I'll take this pawn. This thing up here. If they take, I have discovered checks leading to checkmate. Okay, they can bring knight here to defend. Then I take them, there's still check threats against this rook. Knight here, take. If they take there, okay, no, they took the pawn. Let's check and then checkmate. Whew, really low on time there, wow. Wow. All right. Whew. Okay, we're at 5 points now. Orange Champion is leading the pack with 14. That's incredible. That's a lot of points. Um, you can see everyone he's beaten. Just no streak, no future. Down here, all these people probably with like a loss or a couple losses have been beaten by Orange Champion. Because once you get beat at this point in the game, unless you've got a massive lead like he did there, once you lose your streak, it's pretty much over. That's why I'm glad I got the draw at the beginning, because I didn't lose any streak. I simply sort of got my streak pushed over by one game. We're still waiting. This is a bit dull. IEL 11 is up there. We might even be playing them next. Oh no, Joseph 11. What's our history? Oh, poor Joseph. We always get paired with Joseph. Why is that? Well, they're in 5th place. That might be why. What is this? I don't know this variation. I should study it. Of course, if they push e5, I just take with the knight. That doesn't seem to run into anything bad. I don't know there. There might be some kind of tactical trick after that. I doubt Joseph knows, because if Joseph knew any tactical trick, he would have immediately pushed e5. Do I want a Fiend Shadow? Joseph offers a draw. I do not want to accept that draw. Maybe just e6, ready to bring the bishop out. Because really, you shouldn't Fiend Shadow unless there's a reason for it. And I don't see a reason to Fiend Shadow here. My bishop does just fine along some of these squares. Even, like, pretty much any of these squares. I mean, this one blocks the pawn, but once the pawn's through, pretty much any of these squares are perfect for this bishop. Okay, they're Fiend Shadowing. How about we give a little check? If they block with the pawn, I'll just move back to here, and then if they do something like this, I hadn't actually looked that far. Maybe I could go for some kind of exchange, and then bishop up. Or no, takes, and then bishop here, trapping the rook. Yeah, let's go for that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they have no way to get this rook out. Oh, that's pretty crazy. I like that line a lot. That's very aesthetically pleasing to look at. Yeah, back here, because then of course this pawn is pinned to the defense of that d4 square, which actually sort of proves how squares can be just as important as, pieces when you're looking at, oh, now, you know, okay, push the pawn. I take it for Completely free pawn there. It's the right idea, though, trying to create counterattacks. Unfortunately, that one just didn't work. Now I take and then take. I'm not even... Okay, yeah. So I'm up a quality. Piece quality. Or what's that called in English? That's called the exchange. I'm up the exchange. Develop? Oh... Fiend Shadow... Takes just as long as doing this. Or, sorry, doing this. So, yeah, why not? Fiend Shadow. Okay, queen there. Maybe trying to fix a backwards pawn. Now I just win this rook too. And I don't mind this trade at all. I do get doubled pawns, but then they have no queen anymore. Ooh, see, this works now because the bishop's actually oh no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The bishop's attacked by my knight as well. Oh, that was closer though. That was a lot closer. Joseph, that's the right kind of idea. Yeah. Sacrificing a knight for the rook, that's probably good. Saving the exchange. So now queen takes works, because this pawn is pinned. So now I have to be worried about that. Well, I can't move the knight. So... Because if I move the knight, there's checkmate. I can't do this, because then queen takes still works, and then queen takes, bishop takes, still just winning outright, but... Yeah, I'll just do this. Okay. This knight is still pinned, but now I can... Well, no, is this knight pinned? Yeah, it's checkmate, obviously. No, don't blunder, checkmate. Okay, now I can just move my bishop. I'm never going to get rid of this pin, I don't think. Maybe they're very right in keeping the tension there. Okay. Take this freebie. And now my knight is free to go. Oh, uh-oh. Almost missed an attack on the rook. Okay. Yeah, knight here then. Hitting the bishop seems good. This square is lacking defense. My knight guards this one though, so queen can't go there. I like the trades. I want to see everything off the board. Well, everything of equal value. I don't want to be tied down to that defense. Oh, I just drops the bishop. What am I thinking? This is still stupidly good for me. It'd be impossible to win this. I forced the trade of rooks. Easy peasy. Even if there were no pawns on the board, this would still be easily winning. Oh, okay. Still works. Go for it. Now the king's trapped over there. Easy promotion. Into checkmate. Alright. Good game. Good game. That one was actually a bit instructive on... I mean, maybe. I don't really see if it was instructive. Okay, there was some pressure on my king's side back then. And I think I made a mistake when I didn't somehow try and get my queen over to remedy that pressure. But luckily they missed it, and yeah. Well, they didn't miss anything great. I simply would have lost a knight, but I was so far ahead in material at that point it didn't really matter. And trading queen and a knight for queen in that position was probably one of the best things I could have done, because then, well, I mean, was probably very good for me still, because then they have zero threats anymore at that point. Okay, last time I played e5, and that was the most boring game I have ever played. So now we're going for the Sicilian. Looks like they're going to play the open Sicilian, which is a lot less boring. And, typically, that e4 opening is more exciting, but in this case, I think it was just boring because I missed my shot, which is why it came to a dead drawn position. Queen here, pinning this knight, opening this pawn up for attack, but then after they defend with something like that, or even just breaking the pin, it's just fine. Bishop? Where could my bishop go? My bishop doesn't have great spaces. My white squared bishop, that is. So I think I'm fine with playing e6, just boxing it in. Yeah. Absolutely fine with that. Does this push work? Takes. If takes and take. Okay, so I might trade one pair, but then I have this isolated pawn actually. Wait, take here, plus pawn. Takes. Here. Oh, my god. What am I doing? What am I doing? That was absolutely not... I was trying to draw an arrow. Sorry. Horrible. No, okay. Let me show you. So... basically... there we go. Okay, now these aren't isolated. This one isn't isolated anymore. Alright, but basically, right, here I was thinking of taking, then after the recapture, I had d5, and after the capture and the recapture, I have both central pawns, and, I mean, it just looked like an interesting thing to play. I was trying to take advantage of the fact that all of their pieces were clumped so close together in the center. But, yeah, I misclicked when I was trying to draw an arrow, and instead just played that move, d5. But luckily they didn't stick me with the isolated pawns. I can just go here now, can't I? A double attack. Hitting the bishop and the king at the same time. They have a way to defend, some kind of counterattack. Oh, okay, that's good. That's a good move. Opens up the defense of the queen. So like a discovered defense. Bishop up here, and then... yeah. My queen gets attacked, I'll bring her back here, and then we have some pressure against this square. That could be good. I'm also prepping to castle, get this bishop out of a pin, or sort of, yeah, there's just stuff going along with this alignment, so castling here looks good. If ever this, simply queen back here. That also defends this pawn, which could be under attack, maybe, perhaps. I might just bring the queen back anyways. Hitting this pawn, and then my bishop. Don't know what I want to do with this light squared one. Maybe bring it over to a6? Well, I mean, I have central control, and now I want to make use of these light squares, so maybe bishop here makes sense. Or maybe just bishop here straight away, and then bring queen over somehow. Of course bishop here doesn't work because the queen's attacking it, so that just loses the bishop. Like this though, my bishop has a job, which is to keep an eye on this light square and then potentially provide attack. Okay, so now I'm thinking of this, and then in the future, this, and then this as a discovered attack. Yeah, I have to do this. I can't do this. I couldn't do this first because then the queen was hitting the pawn. Okay, queen d3. Now I'm thinking of... Okay, let's just calm down. We almost just gave up the entire game in one move. g6. Yeah, that looks like the only concrete way to defend. And they're going to do the same thing, maybe? That'd be pretty interesting. Then I like this trade, because if the queen ever goes here, I can just put my bishop here. Maybe they shouldn't have traded. Ooh, maybe I was in hot water there. So yeah, I like some of these ideas in the future. This move in particular, just taking control of some of the queen's dark squares. Okay, now I have bishop here, luckily. Ooh, rook here? Okay, no. That pins the bishop, though. This move, I like this one. Sort of frees up my king, gives it an escape square. And also protects the bishop, of course. Yeah. Maybe a sacrifice here? I don't know. The king side's looking a little bit dicey, but my queen is ready, like, to come defend in some of these key squares if need be. Alright, of course that works too. How about pawn here? If take... Well, if take, that's the problem there, isn't it? What if they take? Okay, how about pawn here? And then when they take like this, we'll go here with a discovered checkmate threat. So the queen has to go back here. And then take with the rook. Don't like that, I missed that. But I mean, I don't think I really had any choice. That bishop was good and pinned. Unfortunately, misplayed by me. So for something like queen here, we have rook takes, maybe looking to bring the rook into some kind of central attack square. Okay, queen there. Queen takes... Oh. Queen takes, bishop takes, rook takes with tempo. Let's say something like rook here makes sense, then pawn take, or maybe pawn push. Yeah, I'll go for it. Get rid of the potential for an attack. My opponent's up in material, though. A bishop for a pawn. And I don't think my extra pawn over here is going to be doing that much. Yeah, see, now I think I have this move, which I like. Oh, I can also trap the bishop in the future, so that's something to look out for. And then it's like equal material. But I like this move, because then I can get a protected passed pawn. Of course, bishop can't take because rook takes. Check, king here, I don't know. Well, we don't even have to calculate. I'm just winning. Okay, yeah, that's smart. They make sure I don't get this passed pawn. How about pawn here? And this bishop's pinned. Ah, bishop here with check. No, back here. Should have just pawn here. Pawn here. Oh, what have I done? I missed that. That was critical that I not miss it, but I did. Okay, bishop here, and then pawn here is a threat. That's a threat. Also attacking this pawn. So if they defend it somehow. If I get to take this pawn, then this pass pawn is going to be pretty powerful. Because I can bring this one up to defend it. I think, I hope that I have compensation. I hope. Okay, yeah, king up, defending the rook now. So this isn't a threat anymore, because after just bishop moves, then I take, then they take, then whatever. So I'll go here. I can still trap this bishop. And then I think I'm in a good spot. Then I think I'm in a good spot. I'm hitting this pawn. If I do this, I mean, yeah, bishop's kind of screwed. Okay, take, king takes, I'm assuming. And then here, and the bishop's trapped. And now it's kind of like I'm just up a pawn. As long as my king stays here and here, the bishop's trapped. So the bishop's not actually like permanently gone, trapped, but it can't do anything for the foreseeable future. Well, I mean, I want to involve my king though, so it can. Oh, never mind, it's not trapped. Ugh. Get a pass pawn here as well. Go here, then they can attack this pawn. I have no way to defend it. No, I'll just go for it. I can always do this to defend that pawn. Okay. I think I can get a draw here. Definitely. I'm hoping I can get a win. Alright, apparently I can't. I think this is pretty... Oh, no, what am I doing? Okay, I put my bishop here, which keeps an eye on everything. It seems pretty dead. No, bishop can go and attack that pawn. Ugh. I think this is lost. I think this is lost. I'll offer a draw, see if they accept, but I don't have any way to get this. This is a lost game. Yeah, makes sense. Put my bishop here. Get ready for the trade. Yeah, this is lost. This is a draw, though, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're ever going to let me draw it, but... Because these pawns, unfortunately. These pawns mean it's not a draw. Yeah, no, this might be a draw. Because if they ever take this pawn, I promote. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Wow. Actually, I'm gonna do an endgame video on pawns versus queens. That's a quick video. But this, a pawn on the third file, or like pawns on these, on the bishop files or the rook files that are on the 7th rank if you're playing white, or 2nd if you're playing black. So these pawns, a pawn there and a king versus a queen and a king, are drawn positions. And see, the queen can never take this pawn because I then promote. And I think that's drawn too, I'm guessing. That's better chances, though, for them. Yeah, this is drawn, as far as I can see. If they take it's drawn, of course. That's the reason this works. They can never get their king close. So maybe they're calculating king here, promote. Okay, no. Queen there. King g1. King here. Yeah, draw. Actually, this might have been winning. If they brought the king up. No, it's a draw. Oh, well, yeah. Nah, yeah, this is winning. Because king to d4, then I promote, then they take, then I take, then the king gets to the pawn, and it's simply winning. It wasn't drawn. Or, oh, okay, apparently that's wrong. What was it? King e3. Okay, yeah, boxing my king out first. And then getting to the pawn in time. And that's a win. Easy win for white. Okay, wow. Wow, what an intense game. Whew. Okay, I think we're only... Oh, it's poor Joseph again. I think we're only in the running for 3rd place now. Yeah. 3rd place seems like our only hope here. Gonna try and 4-Knights game, maybe, or whatever this is. Okay. There's no checkmate because this square is protected by my knight, so I'll just kick that knight away, prepare the recapture in case, just in case. Oh, actually, better was probably this move here. Okay, they resign. But better, yeah, was probably d4 with a discovered attack against the queen and the pawn attacking the bishop. Okay, we could get 2nd. In theory, who's IEL playing? Okay, oh, Orange Champion. Gosh darn it. We're on a losing streak against Orange Champion here. I feel like we play too many of these games. E4 is... I need to look at some E4 openings as black. Okay, but if we can somehow... If IEL loses their next game and I win, or hopefully draw against Orange Champion, then that can be good. I don't know if this is good. Speaking of good, I don't know if this is like good, because it isolates this pawn here on the A6 square. Oh, this looks pretty nice. I mean, a bishop for a knight, that's a good trade if I, make use of my bishops. If I want, I can always just opt out. But yeah, that looks nice. Just gaining central space with tempo. And now the fiend shadowed bishop. This is kind of like the English. I mean, okay. Let me repeat. The pawns and then the fiend shadowed bishop, looking at specific squares in the center, would be kind of like the bishop, the English. But now maybe you just develop with tempo. That seems good, doesn't it? This doesn't hit the rook. What are they threatening? Just develop with tempo. Surely. The rook is defended by my queen. Yeah, now they retreat. Okay, not the best moves by Orange Champion so far. Bishop, and then they push. I do this. If they take... this is complicated, okay. Bishop here. I swear I've had this exact position against orange champion before. Or against someone. Maybe minus this queen here, but this Fiend shadowing the bishop, and then they get this push in. So if I take, then they take. Not looking great. How about if I go here? Knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, dumb. Stupid, 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 stupid. Bishop here, pawn here. See, that's just painful for me. Knight here, takes, takes. Or maybe there I would take with the pawn first. Pawn first. Maybe I have to do this, looking to get in on this square. Okay, yeah, maybe knight to g4. Then if this, I just take. But then if take, take, we have the same exact problem. Maybe this then. Maybe I have to, but then the knight gets this square, we trade. I'm just gonna play it. I mean, I don't like giving them that square, but I also don't like, oh, okay, opposite sides. Bring our bishop up here, eyeing this pawn. Okay. This makes sense, undoing the pin. Pre-move the recapture. Knight there, do I want to take? I'm not sure if I do want to take. Maybe, oh, here with check. Knight takes, queen takes. If queen, then I'm happy with a queen trade. Let's go for it. Because I'm hitting this pawn too. King moves. Can't I take this pawn? Or is that a poison pawn? Of course, knight here. That's the threat. Okay, so take, castle. Yeah, no, then they get that in. What about king up here? Oh. Take, take. Rook here. Queen here with check. King up. Queen to this is so messy. I don't like any of this. Maybe knight here. Then if knight here, ugh. King here is my only move. You know, if I castle, how about castles? Because I can always go here with a tempo, I guess, and then try and figure something out. I can bring a rook here, which defends the pawn, because if queen takes, rook takes, rook takes. Yes, they're attacking it more than I'm defending it, but I'm defending it with less valuable pieces, and then they would have traded a queen for a rook and a pawn, which is a bad trade. See, now I get this pawn, I think, just straight up. Oh no, because the queen's defending this square. This square for the knight that the knight can hop into. What if I go bishop here, attacking the queen? Oh, but they could do this. I hate this all. Queen here, trying to swing over against the king side. Maybe. I'll take. Then this backwards pawn is very annoying. I can't actually defend that. Oh my word. Because my queen's on this important square. Oh god. Oh, this is looking ugly. This is looking very ugly. Yeah, bringing the rook over here is the threat. Queen here, and then maybe king here, try and get some kind of escape. This square's open too. This unpins this pawn. I don't know, maybe I can hold on. Okay, yeah, simply queen takes. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I didn't realize that pawn was hanging. This is just lost. This is just, yeah. Tournament's over, luckily I still got 3rd place. How fortunate. Maybe try and run my passers up the board? Oh, bro, I'm hanging pawns everywhere. This is questionable. Okay. Take. Rook takes king here. This is lost, yeah. Of course, they can't take here, but this seems very lost. Maybe I can... Is this one of those cases where it's like a rook endgame draw? The notorious drawable rook endgame. Looking to get here, maybe. Of course, they can't take because I promote. Fair enough. Can I draw this? I'll offer it. Oh, what am I doing? What? What was that? What on earth was that? Yeah, this is lost. Okay. I must have had a chance to draw there. We're going to just analyze this and then it's over. But here, this is drawn apparently. Or plus, okay, no, this is still winning for white. All of this. All this winning for white. Why is this unknown? We have access to 7. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is an AP stable base. Okay. Which doesn't exist. This is an unknown, unknown, and then this is drawn. This is drawn. King takes g3 is drawn. What did they do? They did this. And then how do I draw? Take, okay, okay, that makes sense. c7. Oh, okay, and then I win the pawn. Okay, so what if they play like king here? Rook a1. Oh, this is all way too complicated. So basically, the moral of the story is here, I wasted all these checks just putting the king in a favorable position, and I was just wasting my time. Like, the king would love to be over here helping the pawn promote, taking control of all of these promotion squares, but that was a waste. Yeah, taking, giving checks from behind, which is good, because if the king ever strays too far from the pawn, of course, I take. Yeah. Alright. So that's good to know. Rook endgames are notoriously complex, but anyways, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.